I asked to be laid to rest with a fork in my right hand. 1 month ago. You've got just over a month to live. I so didn't expect to hear that during a routine checkup. The news was surreal. I mean, I was full of energy, plans, hopes. Today's the first day of the rest of your life, I used to tell myself every morning before the diagnosis. Each morning it seemed like there were more than enough days to come. But every night I put off a lot of things. And now that my days are numbered, I just don't know what to do. How do I want to spend them? Only you could pull off a baby shower this great. Thanks, Mom. I loved my daughter's vibrant voice, and I really loved seeing her happy. But that day, I wanted to weep. Preparing for that party, I couldn't imagine never being able to see my grandbaby. I need to tell you something. A million thoughts jumbled in my head. Want to talk about Granny's silverware again? My family laughed. No, I want to make my dream come true, I found myself blurting out. Finally, I heard loud exclamations of approval. They always knew my dream. I'd never traveled and always put it off. Until my family gave me money for my dream cruise 6 months ago. Stop postponing your dream. I decided to save my diagnosis and doc's prognosis for when I returned. I wouldn't bear having them worry for a whole month. And in the meantime, I had 30 wonderful days of vacation ahead. In my mind, I was already on the beach sunbathing, but an abrupt call pulled me back to reality. Katie, I'm so sick. Must be the flu. I heard my mom's weak, hoarse voice. Tell me, what pills did you get me last time? I'll send you a list now, I replied. I knew it was just a cold. I knew Mom would soon recover, as she always did, but I couldn't stop worrying about her. And I kept thinking it could be our last conversation. Sweetie, you didn't have to come all the way here. I knew she'd say that. And she was probably right. But I couldn't help it. Although I was still mad at myself and the circumstances. After all, with each day, I lost more and more time for my last and only journey. And I'd spent the next 10 years hearing Mom's lectures and preaching. Traveling was still my lifelong dream. And I was just a short flight away from it. I wanted to finally enjoy life to its fullest. The anticipation of all that really inspired me. Till my hubby returned home from work. Something wrong with the project again? I knew that glum look too well. I gotta rework all the blueprints, he said bleakly. In just under 2 weeks, it's a disastrously short deadline. I'll help, I said out of habit. And only then I realized what a disastrously short time I had myself. I'm so happy I have you. I love you so much. My husband was over the moon. I'm sorry your cruise is shifting a bit. He felt so genuinely guilty. You'll catch up, I promise. I wish, I thought, and kept blaming myself for being so agreeable. How would I relax knowing I'd ditched my husband alone with his problems? 10 days, that's all I had left. But I still hadn't flown out of the state. Never dipped my toes in the sea. Never visited places I'd read about and hadn't gone to my favorite singer's concerts. This list could be endless. Are you Kate? A flight attendant suddenly asked me and confirmed my last name. Your husband called. You need to get off. I genuinely didn't get this mean joke. Your daughter, she's been in an accident. Time that had recently flown so fast now suddenly stopped. I spent an eternity at the ICU door until a doctor showed up in the hall. We managed to save your girl. My world stopped spinning. But she's not stable. The warning gripped me. Premature birth is not off the cards. Of course, I couldn't think of anything but my daughter and her baby. My heart was breaking. Praying to heaven for their health, I completely lost track of time. Mom, you're exaggerating as always. my girl protested, barely awake. "Why'd you put off your trip again? I'll be fine." Only her pale face and weak voice spoke otherwise. "Prep the OR, stat." At that point, I wasn't going anywhere, and I had no more energy to be angry about the circumstances. The only thing I wanted to do before death was make sure my family was okay. "Congrats, you have a granddaughter. I don't think I've ever been so happy since the time I had my own girl. We have another Kate in the family, just like you. Isn't it great?" My sweet girl's voice became vibrant again. At that moment, I was on cloud 9 just being with them. But knowing it wouldn't be for long made me miserable. I had no more time for my journey of a lifetime. According to the doc, I only had a couple of days left. So little to enjoy life, and so much to do nothing, just waiting for death. But I wasn't gonna sit around and wait. I had to say goodbye to everybody. I couldn't postpone it anymore. I had to wrap up all of my affairs. After all, I'd piled up a ton of them. Like plan my upcoming funeral, 'cause I wanted to leave in a special way. "I want to be buried with a fork in my right hand," I informed the funeral maker. I knew she'd be confused, so I had to explain. My grandma taught me this when I was little. She always told me to keep the fork after the main course, 'cause it was followed by her delicious dessert. And now I want to keep the fork too, because the best part is yet to come. Especially the best journey of my life that can't be compared to any earthly dream. Now I feel bad about getting mad at myself and circumstances that made me postpone my cruise. 'Cause every time I opted to be with my family. Turned out, my family's more precious to me than any dream, and caring for them is my greatest joy. It doesn't matter anymore how many days, hours, or even minutes I have left. What matters is that at this second, I genuinely realize how happy I am. Even if some things in my life didn't go as planned. I know that the best is yet to come. If you liked my story, give it a thumbs up and share this video. And don't forget, tons of interesting and exciting stuff is waiting for you on our channel.